Hello, Internet folk, and hello to fans of the basic programming language, and also hello to the Tiddlerhood. Um, I want to show you a new feature just added to Basic Anywhere Machine. But if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to talk about a little something first that leads into this new feature. For the longest time, and I still have this struggle, I've struggled with trying to explain what Basic Anywhere Machine is. A lot of folk may not see the point of it. Um, so I decided to try to take a crack at it, and if you wouldn't mind, let me know what you think in the comments. Imagine, here's what I'm striving for Basic Anywhere Machine to be, the direction I'm going with this. Imagine Wikipedia, as in all the software that makes Wikipedia work, minus all the articles. But just picture Wikipedia as software. Uh, but imagine Wikipedia all existing in one self-editing and self-saving HTML file, just one file. And imagine it hosting everything you needed for basic programming. The interpreter, the IDE, programming tools, all of the programs that you write with this IDE, and all of the data that those programs access and use as they're running. So imagine it's all in that one file. And imagine that file also has everything that you need to support all of the processes and all of the artifacts for project management, requirements management, traceability, source code management, and all of the things you can think of that fall in the area of software development process from end to end. And all you need, along with that one file that has all of this in it, all you need is a web browser. That's it, right? You do all of this in the web browser in one HTML page. And your web browser can be offline or online. The device that your web browser is on doesn't matter. The operating system doesn't matter. Just as standards compliant web browsers need it. That's it. Now, all that said, forget about Wikipedia. For Basic Anywhere Machine is a TiddlyWiki instance. And TiddlyWiki is a wiki, like Wikipedia, right? But TiddlyWiki has all of the goods to create just about anything you could dream of. Don't let the cutesy name fool you. The thing is a powerhouse. I think of it as a hyperlink solutions tool to create just anything. But anyway, all of that aside, this is the area that I focused on in this latest feature, and I added task management to Basic Anywhere Machine. So let's take a peek at that. Over in the Tools menu, we bring up the Task Manager, and the Task Manager is your one-page place to manage your tasks. It gives you the list of the tasks that you've got. It lets you create a new task. Add as many tasks as you want with automatically generated codes to uniquely identify those tasks. After which you can edit them and whatever. With the idea of being able to modify this task manager to provide you with the views and the information and search capabilities and you name it. For now, I've got this set up so yes, you can enter new tasks and edit tasks. I've got to add the feature to delete tasks. We've got the ability to mark tasks as complete or realize we made a mistake and say no, they're still ongoing. And we've got some view options. Basic ones to start with. We can see all of our tasks in one big list, or we can see our tasks grouped into outstanding and completed tasks. And as soon as we mark something as completed, it shows up in your completed list and leaves your outstanding list. Oh, leave it back in one big list, and we have the ability to see extra columns of information or hide them, depending on how much information we want to see. If we're constrained by the size of our display device, we may decide we want to see less. We may decide we want to see more. Whatever. Now let's see what happens when we edit a task, and you'll notice. Pay attention to what's going on in the right corner of the URL here, the right side of the URL. If I try to edit a task, we get pop-up block, and this kind of makes sense. This is web browser security kicking in, saying, okay, well, you were on a web page that opened up a new window, and now you want that window to open up a new window? Is this malicious stuff going on? And no, we want to do this. So it's nice for the browser to kind of say, well, look, if you want to allow this kind of thing to happen, you kind of have to click on something to say, yes, 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 it's okay. Right? Always allow pop-ups. And done. And let's get back to the task manager, and let's edit a task. And here's our task editor. And if we wanted to, we could bring up some other tasks too, and edit them too, compare them side by each. You name it. Let's just look at this one. And yeah, okay, some basic fields going on. We can add a description. We can add some details. Here's the fun part: is we can link a task to whatever programs we have in Basic Anywhere Machine. So, if this particular task, we know we want to do something to a whole bunch of programs, then we select all the ones we want, and now we've got a list of programs linked to this task. Now here's what I like, is the ability to, let's move stuff aside here, use this task list to bring up the programs in the IDE. So let's say we move this aside over to one side, and move our IDE over to one side, and let's shrink things up a little bit, size things up so they're kind of comfortable. We get to see loads of our IDE. So let's say this task involves doing things to a whole bunch of programs, and now our task manager helps us get right to those programs, and we can go do what we need to do. If we wanted, we could say, okay, well, once we've fixed something in one of the programs, we can take it off the list. I tend to like to try to remember what was involved in the program worked on, so I would probably just go into the details, and let me grab my keyboard here and go in the detail and say that, yeah, okay, I've made the changes to, let's say, this program, right, and just kind of add that in there and say that's done. Keep track of things that way, just because I want to remember that all of these programs were involved in my task. Maybe I'd say, okay, done, Mobius. So once I've got it done, maybe I decide then I want to knock it off the list. Long list. Gonna have to add some search capabilities here to narrow down, filter down the list to something that's a bit more manageable. Anyway, so this is the basic task management that I've got set up for this. A nice starter. Eventually I'd like this to be the Cadillac of task managers. Right? But for now, there it is. Now, if you notice, this is Basic Anywhere Machine hosted on the web. If you're using this to create your own programs and add your tasks, well, you're not going to be able to save it back there. This is just Basic Anywhere Machine hosted on this website. The idea is that you press that save button, and then you save it to your hard drive, your USB key, your own file hosting service on the web, wherever. So let's just save it to my downloads. And once it's in my downloads area, now I've got a copy of Basic Anywhere Machine on my computer. And if we view it, and we get rid of the other one, now I've got my programs that I can enter in here, and I've got my tasks that I'm managing without having all of the stuff that's necessarily from the Basic Anywhere Machine hosted on my website. So you can clean this up, get rid of programs that are already in there, So you can clean all this up, get rid of the stuff you don't want, keep the stuff you do want, and make Basic Interact Machine your own for your own set of programs, your own set of tasks, and your own customizations to TiddlyWiki when you get out of the Basic Interact Machine interface. Get back to the native TiddlyWiki interface and modify this to your liking. Anyway, I hope this was an interesting video for you. A challenging video for me, but anyway, cheers.